This galaxy is vast, but I got time for you to explore it. I'm searching for that little gem, scanning deep not to ignore it. Hope I find somewhere where the sky is blue, walking there just like the hills in view. To the light, fields of hope surround me on this planet in the night. Each system that I pass is a chance to find a sweet one. Sweep my scanner fast, and then the devil's in the detail. That's the fun, the fun. Looking wide and high from running right alive, hoping that this is the one. Life springs up, it rushes to the light. Fields of hope surround me on this planet. Life springs up, it rushes to the light. Fields of hope surround me. to blow you away. You can jump but you can't hide from my scanning eyes. This day you have become my prey. Been searching for those ships with a mining laser, heading back to sell all their wares. Interdiction, it is starting to spin me out. I hope you started saying your prayers. Low temperature diamonds, they come hatch break limpid on its way. Low temperature diamonds, they come. I got this feeling that today is payday. Yeah, gimme. Been searching for an anarchy system for so long, one with agriculture and boom. The charts above the galaxy seem so happy now. Pirates always make their own room. Locked in and turning to pull you out of cruise. Then I take a shield or two. Thrusters off, you tumble and jump away. But you know I'm coming for you. Low temperature diamonds, they come in. Break limpid on its way. Low temperature diamonds, they come in. I got this feeling that today is payday. through our barriers and the carriers, can they take the seed of a new world? Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. One story flows and the bubble goes, will command us, wish for a new world. Can the convoy fly and the whole rats try to keep the fleet from destruction? Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. Nothing's gonna change or stop the fight between us, even on the edge of the night. Come and go can link, 'cause someone's gonna gank us, but we all yeah. Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. One big jump into the unknown, working hard to keep the seed of humanity growing. Nothing's gonna change or stop the fight between us, even on the edge of the night. Come and go can link, 'cause someone's gonna gank us, but we all yeah. Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. for science. 3 days to shift it all. We'd never seen such a mountain of our people, good people with a goal. As an class, also fast, the very first one to break their barrier. Not a carrier, just a dream. Jumping now
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Welcome to episode 464 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defier, otherwise known as Colin Frightening Ford. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Apple Bobbing Banksy, will that be Alec Terrifying Turner?
Good evening, everyone.
Who seems to have arrived from Birmingham this week. But all right, you're all right there, yes.
All right, good evening.
Yeah.
Happy Girl Scout Founders Day.
That sounded more like a Scouser, actually. Doing the tour of the counties here. We've got our head of death and disaster, Ben Monstrous Most Woodward, otherwise known as Commander Edelweiss.
Yeah, hello.
We have our undead liaison officer, that be Claire Ghostly Good, otherwise known as Commander Psychit.
That's me. I did. Yeah, it's me. Hi. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. We also have our zombie tech Nessie. That's the Chris Mark IV. Is he still with us?
Hello.
Oh, good, you are. I didn't know whether or not you had actually been resurrected, or you were still going to stay in the ground.
I didn't let him leave. I used my necromancy powers, and I rolled really well, and he's still here.
Yeah,
so is this the same one where...
questions.
5 questions. I was just going to ask him that.
No. This is not Speak with Dead. How dare you?
Yes, we are still playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Can you tell?
Or just Dungeons and Dragons. Both of those were applicable for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I need to get you guys in a game.
oh, dear. If you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in game. Are we hanging out in game?
We are. I am in game. Although I don't think... Why is Chris not seeing me? That's worrying.
Does he suck?
I probably do suck. Well, I do suck. I know I suck.
Another vampire.
I'm solo at the moment, which is why you can't see me, Ben. I will be jumping into open soon.
I know you're playing with yourself, Chris.
Hey.
And time mark that. That's
I'm doing the. I'm in the CG place, waiting for Chris to come and join me.
I see. I see.
Although Chris Mark IV can't see my screen, so I'll have to work with him behind the scenes and figure out why.
Lovely. Right. That's where you can join us. If you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or go to YouTube, Facebook, Xy, Twitter, X. We're there. Enjoy. So, We'll go around the team this week, this Halloween. I'm hoping that we're not going to get any more trick-or-treaters because there's been an absolute mad rush of them. And I'm the only one in the house, so I'm scared.
Turn all your lights off, just hide.
Pretty much. There's a bowl of sweets outside the front door saying, "This is it." Any more?
Don't get anything else.
Any more than you start putting fruit and bananas in, and they just stay well clear of the house. Right, so let's go around to everybody else. Let's go, Claire. How's you on this
Hi.
Halloween?
I'm good. Have I been out of the house this week? Probably not. I've been it's been a bit dreary and wet. And it's not been the best weather. So I've not done a huge amount like away from in the digital space. But I have done done 3 different Halloween looks this year, and I'm doing another one on Thursday. Well, I say just doing another one on Thursday. And I'm spent as far as like Halloween looks are concerned, but it's been so much fun. It's just been really, really fun doing like little mini micro cosplays and things like that. I love it. I love it so much. I love this time of year. It is my favorite time of year. It is the reason that my wedding anniversary is at the weekend. And just this year and this time, the clocks went back, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, that was shit.
Yeah,
my favorite
That was awesome. I had an extra hour in bed.
Yeah, but then it gets dark at the end.
Well, it's always a bit dark at the end.
But it gets dark early, and I don't like it.
Early.
Yeah,
no,
but I'm not awake to see that, Alex.
That sounds like a you problem.
Well, it is a me problem. It's specifically a me problem. That's why I'm saying I don't like it. But aside from that, game-wise, I've been again, I really, really like 3 specific games, but I'm nearly at the end of Cyberpunk, which means when I finish Cyberpunk, I'm going to move on to doing the whole of the Mass Effect trilogy, which I'm really excited about because I've only
remastered. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I've only played a little tiny bit of the first Mass Effect, and I know the first Mass Effect isn't as good as the other 2, arguably.
I think it's got the best story. Story? I think good.
What?
I think Mass Effect 1's got the best story.
I think like I've heard from a story basis, that's why you need to play it, is to get like the story in the background and all of that kind of shit. But from a gameplay perspective, it's not as enjoyable as the subsequent 2 games.
Completely true.
So that's my thoughts on that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm also really not looking forward to ending Cyberpunk because it's been a really, really fun ride and a really emotional journey. So yeah, I don't like finishing games, I think I've realized, and they make me emotional, especially when they have really good stories. So I'm probably going to weep all the way through Mass Effect as well. 2 thumbs up. And I've been doing a bit of Elite Dangerous and stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Just flying about, gotta clean it.
I must admit, when I hear the phrase "Joker, let's go," as far as Mass Effect's concerned, yes, I can feel things bubbling up, which you don't really want to. Right, Alec.
Hello.
How have you been?
I've been all right. I have locked the front door, turned out the lights, and started eating the sweets myself. So there. And yes, the clock went back, and yay, I quite like walking to the station in the daylight. Boo, I don't like walking home in the dark. Yay, the real time is now in sync with the in-game time, which I quite like.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
Yeah, that's useful.
But boo, every Thursday morning until the spring, I now have to stop playing at 7 in the morning, which makes me sad.
Is that when you were actually playing? It's at that early in the morning?
I play from 5 until about 7:15 normally. But in the winter, I have to cut my game short by 15 minutes, which always makes me sad. Yes, what else? on Friday, I went to the theatre with my son. So my son goes to a group on a Monday night, and they occasionally arrange outings. They go to a local village hall and do stuff, but occasionally they arrange outings, and we sign up for them to support the group. And we signed up to go and see Frankie's Guys at the St Albans Theatre. And I didn't really know what I'd signed up for. And then about an hour before we were due to go, I thought, I suppose I'll have a quick Google and see what the hell this Frankie's Guys things is. And I don't know if anyone knows, but it is basically a Frankie Valley and the four seasons, I want to say, sort of tribute night. So it's more or less a boy band singing Frankie Valli songs for 2 hours. So those, it seems like they're all very high pitched songs. So there's such classics as "Walk Like a Man, Talk Like a Man." There's a big girl's gone by.
Baby.
Yeah, all of those. Absolute torture. 2 hours of unremitting torture, which both me and my son hated from start to finish. But we did get an ice cream and a Coke. So actually, do you know what? I'm lying slightly. We were tapping our toes towards the end. The first half was torture, but then it won us over.
It sounds like that sounds like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it was absolutely. It was totally Stockholm syndrome. I'm sure they're very good. A lot of people seem to really enjoy themselves. So there you go. What else? I have been buckyball racing mostly. I jumped into Shamash and did the ghost log hunting down. And I got, I can't decide if this is a cunning joke by Frontier or whether I'm just reading too much into this, but having read the logs about all the people going on murder sprees, I got murdered by some gankers. And I thought, this is really funny. Frontier are encouraging everyone to go to a place in open. Well, they don't encourage you to go in open, but they're encouraging everyone to go to this system and spend lots of time in Supercruise reading logs about how people have gone on murder sprees, and then you get murdered by gankers. It's hilarious, I thought, anyway.
Or the murders for the gankers.
Well, it's hilarious for everyone if you see the joke, I think. And then buckyball. Yes, I am smashing into penal colonies, which is incredibly hard to say.
Correctly, yes.
And discovering how to inject myself into Mitterrand Hollow's supercruise orbit smoothly, gracefully, and quickly without getting too fast for orbital cruise, which is very difficult, but quite fun.
Cue any inserting and penile colonies here.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw in a bit of penile and insertion just on the off chance that somebody wanted to run with it.
I was muted. I'm so sorry.
I've been inserting my penile colonies into Mitterrand Hollow's.
Incredible.
No, I've run dry at the last minute.
How about just into Mitterrand's Hollow?
You can get tablets for that. It's okay. You'll get there, Alec.
Oh boy.
We're still really young and cool, so it's okay, eh, Chris?
Totally are. Sorry, I'm speaking on mute as well.
Yeah, which Chris?
Totally cool.
Okay, Chris. Let's hear what you've been up to apart from being on the radio.
Oh well, speaking of being really, really cool. Last week was ridiculously busy work-wise. However, at the weekend, I took part in Eurobismal. It was Eurobismal weekend. I was representing France. We did not win. The overall winner in the end was, I believe, checks notes, Sweden, who won. ABBA won Eurobismal.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Wait, who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? There was me like looking around for like really unobvious French acts to put on, and ABBA won for Sweden. I think I played it wrong. But yeah, had a really good night doing that on Saturday night. So well done to Grant and everyone that was involved putting that together, because Psycho Cow for putting that together, because it was a really good show, really, really well done, and fun had by all, even though the French were robbed. I think, in my opinion,
By ABBA.
by ABBA.
That's the equivalent of we finally qualify for the World Cup, and then we're drawn as usual with bloomin' Germany and Brazil in their qualifying group, as usual.
I mean, that was the Rugby World Cup for Scotland, wasn't it? We ended up with all the we ended up with all the big teams. But France did finish in the good side of the table. We ended up in the upper half of the table, so I wasn't disappointed with my first Eurobismal
So,
song contest
to be honest,
entry.
Chris, it's sounding not so much like you was robbed, but you gave up.
Robbed?
No, let me talk about people who gave up on that. I had Belgium. And
Oh God!
So right, I had Belgium. So I literally submitted what's the name of the song? The Pretenders, 2000 Miles, and the Christmas song. I submitted a Christmas song for a Halloween event. And to the extent that all I did was just send to Grant, I've totally forgotten all about it. I was going to send this song, and he wrote me a blurb. He did the whole, he found a video for me. He did all of it. So thank you, Grant, for allowing me to participate. And I couldn't even go there. Bloody, I was busy on Saturday night, so I didn't watch it. So I'm really sorry, and I know I didn't win because Belgium were robbed by ABBA, apparently.
Blame ABBA. I think it's ABBA's fault. That's what I'm going with.
Incidentally, the only decent song that apparently came out of Belgium is "Pump Up the Jam" by Technotronic.
So right, I should have gone with that. I realise now, but it was a film music. It was specifically film music. So I don't think that Spaced has got a movie because that's the only one that I really remember, the only TV show that I remember Pump Up the Jam being in. So I just went with a movie that's definitely set in Belgium that I knew was definitely set.
It's like a one-legged man in an arse kicking contest, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The only arse that is getting any action in that instance is your own.
Oh,
and we just spoken about penetrating a penal colony. These jokes write themselves.
Ah, dear. Right. Oh yeah, Ben next.
I've been doing stuff around the CG, and I've been enjoying murdering fellow humans, and that's always good. I don't know if they are human now, but they were once upon a time.
They're ravages now.
Yeah, in other space game, I had a lot of fun doing a community event, which culminated in a combination of playing Simon Says, which was fun, and then we're trying a spot of formation flying, and then basically chicken whilst some of your so-called friends go and bomb one of the most expensive ships in game. So that was a fun evening. I sounded so sarcastic when I said that. It really was fun. We did enjoy ourselves. Apart from that, I've been starting a Dark Urge playthrough in Fantasyland, and I have to actually I'm confused because I've kicked a squirrel. But I've done a lot less murdering than I was expecting to.
Okay, so that's entirely on you.
Well, I've gotten a lot less optional murders as well.
You can murder as many people as you want. You just have to click on them and murder them.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I have done some like that.
Do some light murder. Just do some light murder. 10 out of 10 can recommend.
Yeah, I mean, I have done some light murder. Including of some people who may or may not deserve it. I've done a lot more preemptive murder, shall we say?
Perfect. That's
like I go in and have a cup of tea and kill everybody who's there.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That sounds
great.
fine.
Sounds great because you know that in the end of the day they're bad guys and they deserve to be murdered. It's not how I'm doing it. I'm just killing people and it's not fun.
But I was just like, yeah, I really was. I'm approaching the end of Act 1 in that, and I was expecting more murder. Actually, yeah.
Okay, right. Really, really off topic.
Yeah.
Really, definitely not on Elite. But give me 2 minutes of your time. I think it's a very different game depending on how your head, your intention. So you can be a Dark Age Redemption, or you can be like fighting against it, or you can also just completely go. I'm going to be as evil as possible because I have killed a lot of people.
Yeah, I was owning it. Astarion loves me.
Yeah, obviously because
he
needs
so,
to.
You know, he's into that.
Anyway, different wrong game.
Yeah, I was expecting more murderage.
Okay. I'm still traumatized from last week for me.
Yeah. I've also been playing. I'm playing a bard with that, and I've been playing my musical instrument. And I want to try and find. I need to try and find out how to get everybody else in my team.
Give them an instrument.
I've given them an instrument, and they don't fucking join me.
No. You need to get them to perform. You need to click on it's in. It will be in your hotbar.
So yeah,
I'll show you. I'll send you a screenshot later.
I loved it during the Tiefling party. You know, and actually, no, the best one was when I went off to the goblins, and I started playing up on what looks like a bonfire, and like all these goblins came along, and we had a party. It was awesome.
Brilliant. All of the NPCs came along, not your controlled characters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to control your characters to make them to do the things.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, but I've been enjoying that, and it sounds really fun. No, and moving on. That's about that's really been my life, apart from boring shit, and no one cares about that. Oh, and for Colin, if you're talking, you're muted.
So basically, you're just murdering music. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not murdering music. I'm rocking the music. My Will, when he played, he's murdering music. And also, if any little shits come and knock on my door tonight, I have some extra hot crisps and some chili and lemon Bombay mix if they want to try any.
That sounds nice.
It is actually. It is surprisingly nice.
As long as you can mute the rustle, that's great.
Yeah, and I've got some blue cheese.
There it is.
Knock that off on your bingo card, folks.
Yeah, let's get that one off your bingo card. Right, let's have a look. I have been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. I've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous in the virtual reality headset. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. It's nice to actually blow up humans for once. I'd forgotten what it's like. It's that long ago.
Nice. With your lovely graphics card and nice VR headset, have you noticed? Are there any kind of issues like flashing asteroids or things still in Odyssey? No. Good. Good.
All I've been doing is I've been looking at this and admiring how even in the Python has what looks like wonderful Corinthian leather over the surface at the front. I'm thinking, oh, that needs a bit of that needs treating with some moisturizer. I've got to be careful now. But yeah, what I have been doing is I think I've been downloading every single game on Steam and then playing it at max resolution.
Just to see what it looks like.
Just to see how much it looks. And
what's the best looking game you've played?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Well, there's obviously Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2077 looks amazing, especially with the ray trace switched on. And surprisingly, Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was a bit clungy first time I played that because it didn't seem like the textures popped at all. But this one, now that it's been fully upgraded, oh yes, and I just wiped all my saves. I'm starting right from the scratch because I just want to take the whole thing in, and just falling in love with these characters again and the worst thing about that is that I don't want to fall in love with them because I know what's going to happen and it's going to break me. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's what okay. But that's what makes video games amazing. Is there are some absolutely incredible stories out there, and
I know,
and emotions.
I know, and one of the worst ones, or the best ones rather, or the ones that I got the worst reaction to was Final Fantasy 15, which I downloaded and redid the resolution on that, and I'm there going, I'll end up doing yet another playthrough of it. I just know it. So yeah, I've been reminiscing about games that I have completed, and I don't really should be doing games that I bought and not started yet, but you know. But yes, back to Elite Dangerous. I've been really enjoying shooting things and jumping up spires and yeah. So I guess that's everybody.
You get vertigo standing on the spires in VR.
Actually, there is a touch of it. You don't get full proper vertigo. It's not like, walking the plank.
Yeah.
But even that bit where it fills the screen, if you just focus in the center of the screen, yeah, you do get a sense of vertigo. And
I need to go and try the spires in VR. I hadn't thought of that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's obviously, if you're in your SRV and you look out the side and you look all the way down, that is when you get the full, oh, we are so high up.
Oh, of course, yeah, because it's not proper VR on foot, is it?
No, it's not proper VR on foot. But when you are in your SRV, because obviously you can't do it in your ship, but when you look at the side, you drive your SRV up to the edge of the platform on the side, and you look over, and it's like the Italian job. You've got 3 wheels on the platform,
yeah,
3 wheels off.
Yeah, just like
and
so you're rocking backwards and forwards.
And then look down. Yes, brown flight suit moment, I think, especially if you suffer from vertigo. And yeah, it's wonderful 90 frames a second and smooth as butter. So
nice.
Yes.
Something for you to try, Colin, while you are on foot in VR or in your buggy. Go into the debug cam.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
That works very well in VR.
It does. It does work very well in VR, and yeah, I know a lot of people who want a VR on foot experience do that. It's just that it's not practical to do it.
It's not practical for shooting things, but for playing the game. For other things, it's fine.
Yeah, for other things, it's fine. It's just sometimes you just think, oh, it wouldn't have taken that much. But then one of the things I have been doing this week is I've installed the Wave SDK, which for the headset, which is the and I didn't realize this, both the Quest and the Vive both run on Android.
Yes.
And I've got the SDK for it, so I've been trying to run demos and things like that in it, and I'm beginning to understand how difficult it is to program a VR game. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've been looking at, and oh boy, yeah, walking around the room's going to be fun on that. So, moving on, let us quickly touch on the development news that we've got this week, which is quite unfortunate, really. Sally has announced that she's leaving Frontier at the end of this week, so this will be the first week in November. She's moving on to pastures new. She says she's really excited about her opportunities, and she's really, how shall I put it, excited, and she says that we are the best community ever, which is really nice.
What a legend. 180 messages of farewell so far on that forum, Ted.
I know.
You're a legend, Sally.
I know, it's just a bit sad that she's going, really. Yeah. Of course, as soon as she's done that, there's been stuff on Reddit and, YouTubes and things like that.
Game's definitely dead now.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly.
And that's the proof. That's the proof right there.
Yeah, but I'm going to miss the show notes. Sorry, the patch notes and those kind of things. And the fact that she's got a sense of humour that I think everybody appreciates.
Yeah,
so
they're going to be sadly missing a sort of presence on the forum, actually, because Sally was quite, prominent in being the voice that would chip in and calm things down and, add a bit of humour and a bit of twist to things. And
yeah, I mean, does anybody have their favourite Sally moment?
oh dear, good hugs. Good
Good
hugs
hugs.
at live
I was
events.
going to say good hugs.
Ouch for
Yeah,
that.
because my favourite Sally has to be, how tiny Sally is whilst holding a very large autocannon, Gatling gun, whatever.
Oh, I
it
missed that.
was.
When that was
That was at LaveCon. Yeah.
yeah.
LaveCon
Nice.
late in the evening with Little Willie.
Yeah, that Gatling gun was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but let's face it, that Gatling gun was as big as Sally.
yeah, definitely. I mean, sort of me and Sally would at one LaveCon just sat down and we were painting miniatures at one point, which was really nice. That's one of the reasons she got a pink cobra out of that. That was one of the 3D printed cobras that she painted pink. So I think that's where the pink wafer started to come from. But that was nice. Yeah, so Sally will be missed. It'll be interesting to see who the lineup will be for the next Frameshift Live.
Yeah, won't it?
Mm.
Maybe
Bruce will be
Paul
back.
ever done a live appearance?
Yes.
Oh, he
Not
has.
for.
Okay.
I don't know if he's. I think he has done like maybe a couple for Elite, but he's definitely been on Warhammer streams.
I feel like I've got this impression that he's not keen on being a front-facing CM. Where have I got that from? I'm sure
I don't know. I know he's definitely been on Warhammer streams, but I don't know. I've not seen him very often on Elite ones, but I suppose when you have Sally there and Arthur, who is just like a consummate showman, whether if they're both available, if there's a necessity.
Yeah, I see.
But I think he's brilliant. I love Paul. Paul's had a wonderful weekend. He had a wonderful weekend at MCM where he dressed as a mind flayer, and then he got a photo opportunity with the whole cast of Critical Role. So Paul, I lived vicariously through Paul this weekend. So that was really cool. So it would be nice to see more of Paul on some live streams, I think.
How many have we got? One or two more this year. So in November, we're due a November one, I guess.
Yeah, November and December there should be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a 5-minute aside for myself then. Did anybody else see the live Critical Role?
Yes. It was so good. It was so good. I watched the first half at 2:00 in the morning on Thursday because I hate myself. And then I watched the second half on Friday evening, and then watched it again. So good. Have you seen the MCM panel?
Not yet. No, I've just skipped my way through. So yeah. Again, back to Dungeons and Dragons for a bit there, guys. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I'm not complaining.
So back into space. Yeah, I'm afraid that's all the development news there really is. I mean, we do, as usual, we know that I guess 17.1 comes at the end of November, and yeah, do you guys think that's it for this year?
Probably.
Yeah, quite possibly, I guess.
Well, we'll just have to wait.
Except, of course, for the exciting conclusion of their ongoing investigation into what the feature update will be, which I'm not holding my breath for.
Yeah.
We might get a post about it at the end of the year. We've had a look at it. We think we're gonna
scrap it.
I think we're gonna not scrap it, but I think we're gonna delay it until mid-year next year.
Well, anyway, we'll probably talk a little bit more about that later. So the community news. Well, what has the community been up to this week? Well, again, it's going to be a little bit of sad news here because Down to Earth Astronomy is shutting down his gaming channel. He says he's shutting it down in 2 months. The main reason for this is that he says that he wants to move his focus back to proper space stuff on Cosmic Curiosity in the new year, and he feels that he can't devote enough time to both game channels. And yeah, it's understandable because there's a reason why I don't do Top Shift as much as I can, is because I don't have enough time as much, and I'll end up doing too much editing and not enough playing, which is not really the point.
Yeah,
but
no, it's fair enough. It's going back to his, his namesake really, which would be nice to hear. I've not really seen him do much science stuff, and I gather he's spent 5 years in academia really studying astrophysics. So, it'd be quite interesting to see what he has to say.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, as we've got a kind of a bit of an overlap, passing interest in astronomy, I'll probably subscribe to his new channel anyway. But yeah, and again, what with him saying that the Doommongers all came out again. Oh dear, it's just now funny.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, you know what? At least people are talking about Elite, isn't that right?
Yeah. Well, we've got a whole raft of videos for people to look at and talk about. Who put up the best space game in the galaxy you've never played? From
me,
Breaker
I
World.
did. I'm seeing quite a lot of these. This must be the third or fourth of these kind of videos, maybe even fifth I've seen in like the past fortnight, which is people that are sort of, I've not particularly seen showcasing Elite or making hundreds of Elite videos before, or that have made some in the past, sort of coming back or coming to it fresh and saying, hey, there's this great game out here called Elite Dangerous. So yeah, it's just another really nice sort of positive, encouraging, hey, look, everyone, there's this fantastic game out there called Elite Dangerous. I'm shouting all of those out because I really like them.
And
yeah, I think this is good because it's essentially people coming in as using Starfield basically like a gateway drug.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
you've got all this information that Starfield went and generated, and then everyone's going, okay, that's that. What next? And they're like, well, hey, come and look at this, kiddies.
Yeah, yeah. Come on here and have a look at a proper space game where you can go anywhere. And Starfield is on my to-do list, but it'll probably be next year before I get around to it.
Yeah, don't rush.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. Don't rush. It's still got things that they need to do to it first. Yeah, so we've got Breaker of Worlds video. There's another one of these, which is Why Elite Dangerous is an amazing game by Spectre Elite. Again, was this you, Alec?
Yeah, it was indeed. Yeah, just another showcase for Elite from somebody that's newish and excited about it. So yeah, it's great. I threw both of those in, and shall I plow on a bit?
Yes,
I've done the next couple as well. After that, I also threw this in. I spotted this on the forum. It's quite a nice little short video of an event that took place. It's called the Dark Peak Race by IREA. The video is actually on Black Sparrow's YouTube channel, but it's a short video of a community event where I think they were basically having a race up a mountain in SRVs and also with sort of fighter support and things. Looked like a lot of fun was had. And I just want to, I sort of like shouting out things like this. This was from so this is the Independent Russian Explorers Association, who apparently are a sister of the Independent Explorers Association. I gather he did put invites in a number of different community discords. I didn't pick up on this. I mean, it was an SRV race up a mountain, I think I'd have been all over it if I'd heard about it. So anyway, it's been and gone, but I just thought I'd sort of mention them. Yeah, the Independent Russian Explorers Association and their sister group, the IEA, and maybe go and encourage them to put on more events because I think we all love this sort of stuff.
Very much so.
And then the next thing, I'm going to come back to this in a future episode of Lave Radio, probably next week, once the buckyball's out of the way. But this looks incredibly interesting to me. It's on elitedangerous.com, the French, or .fr probably, actually thinking about it. What's the URL? I can't remember. It'll
It's
be in the show notes.
.fr.
It is, okay. Elite Dangerous Adventures. I need to try it, I think, to give it true, proper full justice, but it's something that I dabbled with years ago when I got a bit disappointed with the sort of proc gen mission system and thought, well, surely we could write nice scripted stories. And what I did was completely lame, to be honest, but it was like it was a little story. I wrote a bit of a script, a bit of a storyline. I had some interesting screenshots and things, and the way it played out, because I didn't know anything about JSON log files or those kind of status files that Elite update, the API stuff. The idea was that you would email me or message me on the forum and say, I'd like to do this adventure, and then I would send you part one of the story, and it would lead you somewhere, and then you had to take a screenshot to prove you got there, and then send me the screenshot, and then I would send you the next part of the story, and so on and so on. I only got a couple of tests. I mean, obviously it didn't work because it could be days before I noticed my inbox, and so it didn't work dynamically. But I love the idea of being able to script something more exciting. And these guys seem to have run with this big time. So they have done, it started out in French, but they're translating more of it to English now, I believe. They have a whole catalogue of different adventures you can do. Apparently, I think it does tie into some of the API stuff. They've got a voice acted sequences, like little clips you play at certain points in your adventure. I believe you get points. I don't know if that's based on time or how many of the adventures you do, or how well. I think there's puzzle solving elements to their adventures. So I am absolutely going to give those a try and then report back, but it looks super exciting.
Colin, didn't you do something a little bit along these lines as a website once upon a time? ED bounty hunting and other stuff, or something like that? Or am I fever dreaming this?
Is Colin muted by any chance?
Colin's muted himself again, yeah.
If I muted myself, this headset's being a pain tonight. I got no idea why. Yeah, there was the ED WTRB website. Nice rolls off the tongue. That was supposed to be, which was supposed to allow commanders to help wing up. So you would look for a commander, but I'd also put in bounty hunting things where you could actually assign a bounty to another registered commander, but it never took off.
Yeah. Could you use the framework of that site to automate what Alec is doing?
Well, it's not me.
I'd have to look into it.
What Alec was originally doing via email.
I'd have to look into it.
Yeah. It sounds like there's a heck of a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
But then again, if these French guys are doing it, then awesome.
Yeah. The adventures they've put together, I didn't want to spoil it for myself too much.
No.
I had a quick glance, and it looks really exciting. So
well, that sounds actually quite intriguing, really. Chris.
I was about to say what you've just said, Colin. It sounds fascinating. It's kind of one of those ones where the community steps in, where maybe there's a sort of gap in the market for a bit of like a narrative driven story element, and they're able to build it using some of the tools that have been put in game and some of the functions that other people have built on. I mean, it's incredible what some folk are able to make with Elite and the access to the journal files and things.
I started thinking, I mean, I once I've tried one of these adventures, I guess I'll know how together with Razafrag, who I know I think is in chat, who's done ED Copilot. So if you think of the time trial stuff, which isn't just SRV, you can do ship-based time trials as well, where it registers a waypoint when you land at a station. You could imagine some sort of very neat automated system where the adventure starts and you get a bit of intro text which is read out to you, and then which is basically a time trial does anyway. The ones I've put together basically say make sure you're heading towards the next spire and then jump off the ramp. Well, there's no reason why the instructions couldn't be, one of our colleagues has gone missing. We want you to head out to this system and investigate what happened. And then when you get there, it could trigger and automatically read the next bit of the story. And I don't know. Well, there are really exciting
It
possibilities.
can do a thing in a place and the stuff.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Excellent. Well, the next thing up is the good old Highwake, who've come out with a new Elite Dangerous video called Booze Cruise.
I haven't seen this yet, but I
It
bet
went up like really, really recently. I think it went out today. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet either.
Yeah. That's one of the things I can do now. I can actually drink again. I'm off the painkillers. So
Hooray!
I'm almost fully rearmed.
Good.
Oh, and another thing. This only was published, I think, 2 hours before the show, or maybe 3. The Escapist have done an article on Elite Dangerous, an 8-minute long video, basically covering the Salome incident.
It's good that they're hot off the press with that.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where they do retrospectives of old gaming stories, literally of old gaming stories. So yeah, they've covered stuff like the Leroy Jenkins stuff and things like that. But this is the time when obviously Drew flew this is Salome character, and it didn't go to plan. So yeah.
Have you watched it? Is it? I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, I've watched it. I've watched it. There's got a couple of things wrong, but it doesn't really matter. But it is quite funny in the end.
It was humorsome.
It was. Well, the style that they've got, they do with the stick figures.
It very
and things
much
like
reminds me of the style from Prison Architect.
Yeah, basically. Now moving on from there. Yes, Commander Ascorbius. He's been reanimating again, and his latest 7-minute epic is called the Collision Event. Now I went and saw this today, and I am so impressed with the way he's got the animations working. They're really up there professional levels, I think. I mean, when I go back and look at the old Jerry Anderson, the Captain Scarlet's with the CGI ones, I'm looking at that and thinking he's doing a good enough job, and that's done by proper animators as well. So it's well done, Scorb.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's also probably, according to Apathis, he's also put a video out on how he actually manages to do this. So yeah, I think that's next on my list because that's sort of the possibilities.
He's churned. Churned is a terrible word to use. I'm so sorry, Ascorbius, because these are works of art. But he's made this one quite quickly because I believe he spent months on the previous one. So I wonder if he's got into the flow of it now and is able to produce these a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that was it. 0 punctuation. The Escapist animation is in exactly the same style as Zero Punctuation, Little Big.
Okay.
Sorry,
it's
sorry for
it's
that.
the same company.
Yeah, but it's not Yahtzee that's doing it.
No.
It's somebody else. Okay, so we've got Psychit. You've
Yeah.
something?
I just thought I'd chuck this in there because I actually edited something rather than just whacked up a VOD. It's a little. I did the Halloween event like last week, and it was really fun. The concentrated things with all the noises and all of the other stuff. I just put together a bit of a highlight of the thing, and if you haven't done it, feel free to go and watch that because I've included pretty much everything that I needed to.
Yeah, I will have to watch that because I did it and then I accidentally deleted half my log files.
I really enjoyed myself. So, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. And I was like deliberately saving all of the audio files. I was like, okay, play. Okay, oh, one was awesome. Play. Shit, I deleted it.
No, don't they all go in the codex? Or is
Yeah,
that
but
still
some of them are
bugged?
being.
They do and they
some of them are
don't.
overwriting other places. I understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not reliable.
that's been
Mm.
plagued, hasn't it, with them not working properly? These logs
Yeah.
going in the
Yeah, it's a shame that.
Yeah.
Very much a shame.
Ho, ho.
Right. Okay. Yes, we could do. Right. Alec, the Buckyball results.
Oh, yep. Obviously, so it is ongoing. It runs until Sunday midnight. Mentioned it last week, and I've been doing it now. It is really fun. It's really easy. Like you can do this in well under 20 minutes, like sort of unlimited times of 15 minutes. It's very nice actually because I'm using ED Copilot, which among other things sort of says things like it's been 15 minutes since you were last in this system. I actually kind of know when I'm on a good run if it's if I get back to the start system and it's saying it's been 14 minutes since you were last in this system. It's like, yes, 14, I'm on a good one here. I really should use live split, but I don't. But anyway, yeah, so it's really easy. You just have to you have to smack the ship down at 3 different penal colonies. As near to the landing pad as you can, and so there's all sorts of fun. Landing at Mitrand Hollow when it's coming towards you is quite something, and just trying to perfect that has been really interesting. I've never had a race with so many Too Fast for Orbital Cruise bloopers. I've just got dozens and dozens of them now. But yeah, so as of this evening in regulation, Skur is winning by a ludicrous amount, like a minute and a half faster than.
Bloody hell! That it's wow.
You know, everyone starts bunching up at the top, and then Skur and Shay turn up and go a minute and a half faster than anyone else, and you just think, how? I don't understand. Anyway,
The
second
new
place.
Max Verstappen then.
Yeah. Second place, we have the ever fabulously named Kevin the Stabber. And yours truly still hanging on to third place at the moment. And I reckon I can get another good 30 seconds off that time if things work out for me. And then in unlimited class, in first place, we have Skur again in a Sidewinder. Power to the mighty Sidewinder. Unlimited, you can fly any ship you like, and Skur is winning this race in a side. Love it.
So that's a bit just like taking the mickey, really, isn't it?
And then talking of taking the piss, in second place, we have Shay Blackwood doing it in an Orca.
It's insane. What is going on?
Honestly, the pair of them,
Orca's fast.
It's not enough that they have to win, but they have to rub our noses in it by doing it in stupid ships as well. And then there's everybody else.
To be fair, like if you've got a ship that can do the jump range and is reasonably maneuverable, you're okay, right? Like maneuverable in Super Cruise.
Yeah, I am being a bit. What's the word? Frivolous with this or whatever. Yes, actually, a lot of where you save your time in buckyball races, particularly like this, is things like having good Super Cruise maneuverability, so you can come screaming in with a 2-second ETA and then use that Super Cruise maneuverability to really bleed off the speed by doing a tight sort of corkscrew at the last minute. So actually, surprising ships are quite good at this. What I find funny though is, we've got Skur and Shay at the top in a Sidey and an Orca, and then everyone else bunched up underneath in Imperial Couriers, Vipers, and all the obvious racing ships.
We really need to give everyone else a bit of an advantage and put them in some Type 9s or Type 10s, don't we? That would give everyone else a slightly fairer go.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the next time, if you come first, the next race you've got to do it in the Type 9.
Oh, it'd be quite good for the next year's season. Maybe have some little penalties.
Yeah,
like
sort of little. Yeah, you could actually, you got the regulation, you've got the unlimited, and then you got the handicap.
Oh, I really like that.
What about you can choose any ship in the unlimited class, but then once you've used it for one race, you're not allowed to use it for any others.
Oh, that's good as well. That's good as well.
Yeah, you can take that. We won't even charge royalties.
These are great ideas. We're using these next year for sure.
Oh God.
Anyway, race runs till Sunday. Very easy to just nip over there and give it a quick whiz, and it's
it's only like a 20-minute run or something, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's good fun.
slowest, I'm not going to say who, but just to give an idea, the slowest times are around the 26-minute mark. So
That's because I haven't had a go yet. Lave Radio's Captain Slow.
My run in my Crate Phantom, where I hadn't even bookmarked the places, was still less than half an hour. So it was fine.
not much you can do in Elite in half an hour, but you can give the Buckyball race a quick whiz.
And it took me like 4 attempts to land on Mirror and Hollow as well. So.
And also, if you haven't been to Mirror and Hollow, it's worth it just for that, because it is a sight to behold. Can I sneak one other thing into the community corner, actually, which just
you are
occurred
quite
to me?
welcome.
So I did mention ED Copilot and Razafrag, who's in chat, and although it's not something I've played with a lot, because I play the game very early in the morning, I tend not to use, although I use voice attack for some key bindings and things, I don't actually speak because I would end up waking my family up. But it does have a lot of speech input stuff because it was originally developed for use in VR where typing is difficult. And he's just recently added some stuff which, as far as I can make out, basically lets you just chat with OpenAI while you're flying your spaceship. So not even sort of asking questions, but you can just have a conversation with OpenAI while you're flying around, which sounds pretty damn awesome, actually. That's just come out, that feature. Very cool. Anyway, that's me. Colin is muted again.
Yeah, probably.
We're going to have to test out our new tech monkey. We're going to have a quick break before we come back with the in-game events.
Yeah.
We've been lucky for a long time. Earth's green again, Mars ain't red anymore, and your biggest worry has been carrier upkeep. But what happens if that changes? How are you going to keep your piece of the galaxy safe when the unknown comes at you fast? Manticore. We'll give you the power to fight back, no matter what comes your way, because family's important. And you, well, you're family now. Manticore, come join the family.
Choose life, choose a ship, choose a career, choose a cargo, choose a fucking big ship, choose palladium, gold and electrical tin openers. Choose good health, low cholesterol and ship insurance, choose fixed interest loan repayments, choose a space station, choose your friends. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage, choose a paint job and hire purchase in a range of fucking colours. Choose decals, exploration, and wondering where the f*** you are on a Sunday morning. Choose sitting in that chair, running mind-numbing, spirit-crushing trade routes, stuffing f***ing junk food in your mouth. And choose rotting away at the end of it all, pissing your last in the void with no one out there to hear you, bury or do anything as you drift away in cold space. Until some comes along to steal your ship, your cargo, and your clothes, leaving your bones floating out in space. Choose your future. Choose life. But why would I want to do a thing like that? I choose not to choose life. I chose something else. And the reasons? There are no reasons. Who needs reasons when you've got onion head?
And welcome back. No, there's a reason why we took a little break there. It's because the in-game events this week has been quite interesting. Obviously, on the 26th of October, the Halloween event kicked off with a mysterious phenomenon which triggers violent attacks, which also led to eliminate the threat of the Grey Swan fleet on the 27th of October, which is a current CG which is running. Now, this was the Halloween event, and I did this on Saturday, and I was thoroughly creeped out. What was everybody else's impressions, apart from Ben, who's actually deleted half of his?
I loved it. I loved it. I like if you've not experienced it yet. Again, I would highly recommend going and experiencing it. Highly recommend using a spectrograph and seeing some extra bit and one extra bit on there. It is very well written. The sound team clearly had a lot of fun. There were some excellent logs in there. There's a really fun to and fro between two people that I absolutely fucking adore. It's so sinister and cool. And what was I referring to it as quite regularly? Sexy violence. It is the sexiest violence, and I love it.
I missed out on the fact that these have got audio files in it, so I've got to go back and listen to all the audio logs now.
So it's not. There's not a lot of them that are spoken, so you do still need to read them, but they do have audio. So sort of like background noise and interference. Some of them have a couple of words in them, but it's mostly just sort of like background noise and chatter and ambient sounds, which the sound team, like, I mean, we don't need to say how friggin' amazing the Elite Dangerous sound team are, but this has just been like a BAFTA for your consideration in Foley. Effectively, it's really good. It's so good.
One thing I'd add on the audio actually is that I nearly sort of missed this. Is some of the like Claire says, a lot of the audio is sort of ambient noise rather than just the dialogue being read out. Some of them are quite long. With some fairly quiet bits, and there was a couple where I sort of didn't realise that they hadn't finished, and sort of almost went to play the next log, and then suddenly thought, "Oh, hang on, it's still going," and there's sort of extra little crackles and interesting bits towards the end. So just let them all play out because some of them are quite long.
For sure,
I mean, it's fun. Sure. I just enjoyed just flying around the system, trying to trying to get 10 of 10. Oh God, I must read this story out. I read something. I won't mention the person's name to protect the innocent. I can't remember it anyway. But I saw this beautiful, beautiful thing where somebody said, "I've got 10 of the logs. Where are the other 15?"
What?
And there was lots of backwards and forwards confusion of going, "What do you mean?" And then I can't remember if it was a screenshot or whether he just described it, but he sort of said, "Well, I've got this 25/10, so I've got the like 10/25. I've got the 10 out of the 25, but where's the other 15?" And then of course the immediate response to that was, "That's today's date, you complete fucking plum."
That's amazing. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Oh wow.
Glorious.
Yeah. So after the Halloween event and the creepiness, I think we'll just say quick spoiler alert here. So if you haven't worked this out already, it seems that there is a transmission signal that has gone through the entire of the Grey Swan fleet, which is a federal Navy fleet, and they've all gone mad. They've all turned into reavers and are just shooting indiscriminately. So much so that the Federal Navy called in the Pilots Federation and said, "Can we have some help shooting our own ships, please?" Yes. I've actually been enjoying it because I think I've done too much Thargoid combat lately. And it was just, it's like a palate cleanser. I've got into the FDL and a ship I have not flown in more than a year, and then just fallen in love with it.
FDL on it. Amazing.
Yeah, I've fallen, and obviously in the VR and stuff like that, it's sort of there going, why did I not do this for absolutely ages? And yeah.
I haven't done this bit. It's CZs, I presume. You're doing CZs and then
handing in. Unfortunately, there's nothing more than a low CZ. They're just low CZs.
They don't pay particularly well. I
No,
called
they
a
don't.
Corvette earlier and got 45k, and I was like,
Corvette?
maybe not for me. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Two years to get Fargoid bounties, haven't you?
Yeah,
How
I mean,
else do you get
was
only
just like, well,
45k? I've like handed in. Okay, so like $1 million and a bit.
What, from this CG?
Yeah.
How?
Not one ship.
Not for one ship. No, of course not.
I didn't. Are you sure you're in the right? Are you sure you're in the right?
Yeah.
CG?
I'm in the right place with Chris.
Because I did four conflict zones, and I think I made 600,000 from the 4 conflict zones.
Wow.
I just did
me, but the people that are gunning for the top 10 who get the special exclusive Spectra patrol, aren't they in the sort of hundreds of millions?
Yeah.
So Rosa Tequila, I was chatting to earlier today, and they are propping up the bottom half of the top 10, and they keep going back to it. But they said every time that they logged in and took a look at what where they were with it, the people at the top had gone up by 50 million, and they've got no idea how they're doing it because it's so slow going. They must just be stuck to their computers. Doing it all the time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've done a couple of. I think I've done 7 or 8 CZs, and I've had at least $1 million and a half every time. So, yeah, I'm doing quite well for me.
Yeah. You obviously have to do the right CZ. I gather there's a war or a civil war going on in that system at the same time.
There are
so
two other wars.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
That is unfortunate because that's the first one I went into. I went into the wrong CZ. So, but I thought, oh well, while I'm here, pick a side.
For a penny.
Yeah. So if anyone's doing this, do make sure you're fighting the Grey Swan fleet. Otherwise, you're doing the wrong CZ.
Wild.
I did notice. I've just had to leave the system for a little bit, because it turns out other system defense forces will also just randomly turn hostile for no reason. And if you shoot them, you get a bounty.
Oh, the good old friendly fire in Elite Dangerous.
Well, it wasn't friendly fire because they shot first. So I merely shot back in self-defense, and then all their friends got angry that their crazy pilot was firing at me. So, yeah. So I've just had to run away. So I don't know if that's an intended thing where other system defense forces that are not the Grey Fleet will also occasionally go mad and shoot people. But I just got attacked near the mega ship.
We'll call it a feature, Chris.
Let's call it a feature. Let's call it an intended feature where the signal has also caused other NPCs in the area to also go pew pew on you.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I found that not to be as much of a problem as it has been, as it was in the past. I think they put in a kind of limiter so that if you shoot a friendly ship once, it's all right. But if you go over a certain level of damage, then they turn hostile, which has saved so much frustration because I think when the game first started, if you went into a CZ and just one bullet from a multi-cannon just happened to graze someone else's shields.
Colin, a point defense cannon. PDCs would trigger them as well.
Oh God, yeah. And yeah, it was absolutely horrendous, and it's so much better now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel sorry, obviously, for Chris because he's been a.
Oh, I very much shot back when they shot me, so some of it's my fault. I took it as
Well,
a slight against my honor and immediately launched fire.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, fair enough then. It's a good old Elite Dangerous law enforcement.
I
remember when they
replied
fixed that.
politely with my overcharged beams.
I think that was back in Sanders' day, wasn't it, when they fixed the friendly fire issue so that you didn't get bounties the minute somebody accidentally flew in front of you for a millisecond.
That was so frustrating. It really was.
Yeah,
But
it's a bit
even
of
now, in the CZs at the moment, and they're going, oh, that Python's too quick, too close. I'm going to hit him, which because he's green. So, yeah. Right. Well, moving away from the Halloween event. On the 30th of October, Vox Galactica has been looking at the war's progress, in which there have been plenty of gains against the Thargoids this week. Yeah, so these massive spires that have appeared.
We've lost you again, Colin.
Oh, what's happened?
These massive spires which have appeared, and then you vanished.
I think it's Discord doing it.
Yeah, I think it is Discord.
Because I'm losing everybody during that time. I think it might just be the call that we're in just drops out occasionally and then drops back out. I genuinely believed it was my computer, so I've been trying to fix it. But now I'm comfortable with it not being.
Yeah, I think it's we've got Alec. You dropped out earlier as well, which was. But yeah,
was I saying anything interesting?
Probably, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll just fix it in post. It's not a problem.
Yeah, so we've got the spires. They thanks to Burr, we now know that there are several spire sites which the Thargoids have retreated from, and they're effectively dead. You can actually fly around them without any interference whatsoever and take in all their grandeur.
Yeah, I really want to go to one actually.
Yeah. Now we were also under the impression that once a system had spires in it or one of the matrix sites, that's it. They were locked in. You couldn't do anything. That seems to have changed.
What? You mean they're not locking in, or?
No, they can be abandoned. You can kick them out of the system.
I see.
So it doesn't act as a kind of beachhead and keep them in there. So the spire sites that are abandoned, then can you still sample and pick up the bits and pieces and do the game? So that all stops when they
stops.
abandon
Yeah.
it then?
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Doesn't some of the biosampling down at the ground level still work? Or I'm sure I read that a couple of little bits still work. But all the kind of stuff that you where you use the overcharge mode on the charge weapon, that's all kind of off and inactive, isn't it?
Yeah, all that's gone. It's you've basically got you can use your plant scanner to get a couple of samples, but that's it. Everything else it basically looks like a very, very large but dead barnacle forest.
That's
really
still
cool.
quite profitable, though, isn't it? The plant scanning the Thargoid thing, if it's easier to get around and doesn't have Thargoids pew-pewing you.
Yeah, but it's not
for people that want money. It won't be as exciting or as interesting.
Yeah, I don't think because once you've scanned it once, that's it. You can't go back and scan it again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would say I haven't been, but I would say these are definitely worth a look because I remember when the Thargoid War stuff first kicked off and we first got shut down Coriolis stations, and those are amazing to go and visit. To see a Coriolis with the shutters down across the mail slot and all the lights off, it's just incredible.
Very creepy.
Yeah, it's so eerie.
Is it just a Coriolis, or have they done the others?
Oh no, I think any. Yeah, I think any. You get the big circular ground-based ports. Those are amazing as well when they're shut down.
I've yet to see them yet.
Sorry, I was going to say I do worry a little bit that because of the sites being able to be taken over, if we're too effective, we're going to end up losing the biggest part of the update that we've just received was these spire sites. And I mean, how many of them are on the edge of being taken? Do we know?
Yeah, quite a few actually, which is a bit of a shocker. I'll touch on that later. Because on the 31st, today, Aegis has announced it's going to prioritise research into the aforementioned Thargoid spire sites. So you can probably expect a CG or something like that coming up soon to go in and get stuff from the live sites. Yeah. So I've been looking over at the Thargoid Overwatch site, and yeah, originally we thought that the spires being created would have a positive effect for the Thargoids. Completely wrong. All the alerts were contained this week, so that means there's going to be no invasions next week. The Thargoids are being seriously pushed back on all fronts, and they're predicted to fall down to 350 systems next week, from 600, I think it was, at their peak. So yeah, it as Vox Machina, geez, what am I? Vox Galactica.
Vox Galactica, easy.
There you go.
If it was Vox Machina, I'd be well interested.
As Vox Machina said, I've done it again.
You did.
Yeah, Vox Galactica has said it looks like humanity is beginning to win this war. But of course, we know, thanks to Sally, they are coming, or something's coming.
They're the spires. It was the spires that came in all of their phallic-y goodness.
Is it possible that the spires are kind of supposed to have a positive effect for the Thargoids, and maybe even do, but it's being completely sort of dwarfed by the vast number of Orthruses that players are killing because it's just so much fun? Because that's what I gather an awful lot of people are doing, is just earning billions and billions, killing hundreds and hundreds of Orthruses. Maybe that is just having such a dramatic effect the other way that we're not seeing the positive effect that the spires had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the Orthruses, or is it the Orthri? I don't know what the plural is, but
Or through.
Or through.
Or through.
Maybe
it's just Orthrus. Maybe
Orthrus
it's like
I think Orthri sounds better, but you know, like the plural of haggis is haggai.
Yeah, but they don't really travel in packs, so you don't really get to refer them as like that very often.
Only when we heard them during haggis season.
That's true. That's true. I've not been to a good haggis season for a while.
Oh, you should.
Chasing them the wrong way around the mountain. We know it all. There'll be some American looking that up. There will be. Anyway, on that note, I think it's the time of week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. A store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert. Which one will you buy? A store alert, 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 a store alert. Which one will you buy? A store alert, a store alert.
And welcome back. The store alert this week. Well, we've got the wonderful Wraith Spectre.
That nobody saw coming. No one thought that would happen.
No.
It was a huge shock to everybody involved.
Yeah, these are quite nice. I really like them. You get them in red, you get them in purple, you get them in green, you get them in blue, and you get them in grey. I have to confess, I'm looking through all these pictures here, and a very subtle difference.
I'm so glad you said that, because I looked at the store and I was literally squinting at the screen, going, "Which bit is blue?"
Yeah, it looks like it's just like little bits on the hoods.
And the and the whatever's under the skirt, like the leggings.
We'll not comment under the skirts, please. We're not king shaming.
Hey, we're not king shaming. We're just talking about the armor that is underneath the overskirt. Jesus, Ben. Yeah, like the purple one looks like it's got purple
socks.
legs, and like the red one looks like it's got orange legs. You know, so that's got to be it, surely.
Yeah. Maybe they needed to have chosen them in a different light. Maybe it shows up differently in a different kind of light because
Yeah, I thought it was a bit
Landing Bay
dark, isn't it?
light
It is very
sources.
subtle.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Will you be purchasing one?
They have done an awesome thing about these. In that instead of selling it as a pack of 6 or whatever, you can buy them individually.
Yeah, so they're marginally cheaper.
Right.
Yeah, and not only they're marginally cheaper, but you're getting the one color that you want and not the others that you don't. So yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, they did that. They did that with the tricksters, though, didn't they? Those were all sold separately, and the X-ray ones and the what is it? Ectoplasm. I could not think of what that actually was called. I was gonna call it something entirely different.
The one that you quite
the
often
spaff
wear.
one, the spaff one, the
the
bright pink spaff.
Oh, jeez.
I've been watching Archer. Sorry.
No, every time I see somebody with that skin, I'm just going to go spaff.
Absolutely,
you weren't thinking that already, Colin?
You should do it. Let's face it, it's spunky.
No, I was not thinking that.
It's so spunky, though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it is basically a teenager's room under nightlight.
100%.
Listen, they were just
it's like a Jackson fucking Pollock painting in it.
They were underneath
there are
the ship.
times. Go on.
They were underneath the ship improving the paint job, and they accidentally spilled some glowing paint on their suit. That's all it is.
That's what it was.
Very innocent.
Okay.
We're so young, hip, and cool. We can come up with these excuses.
I so relate to Matt Mercer sometimes because this lot, you're just like dealing with a whole
hard?
slums.
Are you really struggling? Do you need to take a lap, Colin? Is it okay? It's all right. You can walk it off. It's not a problem.
It's like it's dealing with about 6 Sams at once. It's just right. I will take a walk. Before we have an ad break, we'll get them back with some main discussion.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
Sweet dreams, little ones. You rest up in your hangar bay, because in the morning, you'll wake up to smell fresh laser fire, because you're in a Federal Corvette. And there's one thing that a Core Dynamic ship does well, and that's kill ships. Big ships, small ships, wings of ships. We even have a go at booping asteroids. Enemy shields down! Enemy dead! There's no further targets, Commander! That's all you'll ever have to say in a Federal Corvette. Core Dynamics! Let's not talk about skimmers.
Is your life like this? It could be like this.
Astrogator Tours. Put some excitement back in your life. Book an adventure in the Lave Business Directory. Now.
The what now?
And welcome back.
Space
Well, it's about that time of the year where we start thinking about the nights getting longer, and that means more time to play Elite Dangerous, because who wants to play Elite Dangerous when it's nice and light outside? Mostly everybody else, admittedly. But yes, so the question that I was going to ask everybody on this one is, what do you think the plans are, or where do you think we'll be in the run up to Christmas? Where do you think Elite will be towards the end of the year? I mean, obviously we've got the 7.1 coming at the end of November. So knowing Frontier, that means they've probably got it feature complete right now. So they're going to be spending the next couple of weeks testing it before they're happy with it. So yeah, let's just quickly go around the crew, and we'll start with Claire.
I was so glad you said that, because I wanted to give the other people others a chance to think about stuff, because we kind of we definitely weren't planning on what we were talking about just very quickly beforehand. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, etc. So I'm thinking that there is going to be some kind of change as far as the Thargoid war is concerned. I don't envisage, and this is probably going to upset a fair amount of people, but I don't envisage a situation wherein there are going to be a lot of feature updates from now to the end of the year. I don't envisage like a lot of stuff that is outside of Thargoid war things. It's it's still going to be very, very focused. And I understand those people who just genuinely don't give a fuck. I understand how disheartening that can be. I totally get it. I think it's going to be there's going to be some kind of resurgence, or what requires the bars to shift is going to change. They're going to change some of the parameters. They're going to move the goalposts, and it's going to start to look yet again worse and worse. Because if we don't, like, these new things have appeared. These new amazing spires have appeared, and the Thargoids aren't really taking over anywhere else, as you said earlier. There's not going to be any invasions to fight or anything like that. So there's not going to be any new spires or new things like that able to be inserted into the game if they don't have the footing by which to do it. So something is going to have to shift to either make us feel like the people who are still vehemently interested in the Thargoid war, make them feel like they're on the back foot again, or it's going to be over by Christmas. And I don't think Frontier want it to be over by Christmas, you know. So that's kind of where I see it going. I don't see any big mechanic changes or anything new, with the exception of there might be something that appears that we can shove back into the place where we've been doing all the parkouring on the spires.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that.
But that's about it.
Okay, that's interesting. Alec, have you got any thoughts on this?
I was thinking this 17.1, what was it they called it? Stability update.
Stability patch, yes.
I sort of don't feel like this is going to incense some people, of course, but I don't feel like Elite is desperately in need of a stability update. There's always bugs that can be fixed, but it's not like there's some major issue that desperately needs fixing, and we all know exactly what they're going to fix in 17.1. So I sort of feel like 17.1, while it may well have a bunch of nice little bug fixes, is going to sneak something in. And I think there is a secret CG running. I'm not sure there's going to be an open CG, but I think that last Galnet news story is reminding us that there's a secret CG running to do with handing stuff into Palin, which we've seen before. And that, so something is going to be released. Claire's just reminded me that it may well be something that we can insert into those receptacles up on top of the spires. But there's another piece in this puzzle, isn't there? I almost felt like we'd seen everything. We've seen the spires, we've got to the Titan, we've got all the things that let us get to the Titan. We can rescue people. I almost let myself believe it was over.
Yeah, you
but,
can rescue people. Yeah.
well, it is difficult.
Hmm.
I've walked away from it, so it's too difficult. But nevertheless, we haven't seen everything. There's a final piece to this, isn't there? I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I think there's one more plot point to come before Christmas. Like, yes, and we're all going to die. Merry Christmas.
I mean, it may just be a limpet, but I think there's one more thing.
It might be a limpet. Also, there's a big relic shaped beacon still hanging over our head.
It is. Well, I have another theory on that. Shall I plow on?
Yeah, I was actually going to give Ben and Chris a start, and then we'll come back straight back to you then, Alec. Ben?
Yeah, I'm just as we were alluding to earlier, there is we're currently collecting a bunch of individuals in secure locations.
Mm-hmm. Have I lost everyone again?
Yeah, that was Discord again. It was Discord again. It's fine.
Okay. So we've got a bunch of people in secure locations, and I'm waiting for them to be activated. I'm waiting. I would not be at all surprised if that little worm in their ears gets sent off before Christmas. And it'll be a fun little thing for us to do over Christmas as well.
They've each got a little tadpole in their head.
They've each got a little tadpole, and it's just saying kill them all, and they're in lovely locations, and we could all go along and have cups of tea with them, and then they'll come away and eat our brains. And I think that they could get that activated before Christmas.
Yeah. Interesting. Chris?
I would slightly counter that, which is in my world, you don't do major changes just before the Christmas break when everyone goes missing.
I would agree with you there, Chris, apart from the fact that's exactly when Frontier went off and released a little game by the name of Elite Dangerous.
I mean,
and they've done other things like that in the past as well. So
absolutely, their change management people might be even crazier than our change management people. That is definitely there. Embargoes are there to be broken, people. But
I don't always change features on live, but when I do,
I do it in style. When I do it, it's zombies. Yeah, I mean, obviously that is the sort of thing that's kind of holding that over our heads at the moment. And after our conversation about how we're doing in the Fargoid War, I do think that the next update is potentially going to come with some changes in the Fargoid dials of what they need to do and what we need to do in order to win and gain systems. I think something's definitely going to come along that's going to make it more difficult for us, or at least push it back to a form of stalemate. In order to not drag it out, that's probably the wrong term, but in order to push it on a little bit further, potentially. I don't know what that'll be. I don't know if it'll be a new Fargoid variant. I think we've probably got enough Fargoid variants out there at the moment, but there'll be something that's going to come along that's going to push us back a little bit and make it more difficult for us, whether it's things like the Orpheuses, can't say that word, getting more difficult to sample, or the samples not meaning as much. Things like that, I think, are going to suddenly kick in.
Yeah, I'm hoping that would kick in at the moment. I personally myself, I'm agreeing with everybody here. I do feel that in order for this storyline or this piece of content to remain interesting, I think at this point there has to be a twist. And it could be that 17.1 has the trigger for that twist embedded in it. I don't think that we're going to get anything. I don't think we're going to get a full update 18 or anything like that. I think it's just going to be one little thing just before Christmas, because when you think about it, they say right end of November, that gives us a week, maybe 2 weeks to fix any issues that come up with 1701, and then they can let it run over Christmas and New Year. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how that happens. But then, back to Alec.
You know what? I might retract it because it's a little bit off topic. I was gonna think more into next year, but I think it's too soon for that. I'm gonna put my fork back in that one.
Yeah, that's what we do at the end of the year. We talk about predictions for next year.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to save that for another show.
we need to save that one for the one before Christmas.
Yeah.
We need to find content somewhere, for God's sake.
We always find content somewhere.
Yeah, I think in order to annoy the guard frequency, we'll just have to do a couple of extra episodes, which are just greatest hits.
You can. When am I going to get time to do that?
Do a Golden Girl special or something like that.
You know what we can do? You know what we can do? We'll just give it. We'll just give it to Chris Mark 4 and make him do it.
Whoa! Hang on, I am paying attention while I'm trying to shoot people on the stream here.
You can multitask. Damn, you noticed.
I told you it was hard, Chris.
We could just do an episode where we each go away and program our own open AI personality and just let them talk to each other for 2 hours.
Gross. God, that makes me feel sick to my stomach.
Chat GPT, I'd break it. I'm knowing my ability to break code. I'd probably be the only person who could break Chat GPT. Dear. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, update 18. I don't think we'll, unless they have been playing a blinder. I don't think we'll get anything this year at all for an update 18.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of state do you? I mean, the ultimate would be, this is where the land war starts, but I don't think we're even going to get that.
No, I've had
mid-year next year.
Very strong doubts about on-foot Thargoids for a very long time.
Well, you reckon mid-year next year then? I was hoping first quarter next year, actually. But again, we can talk about that. Otherwise, we're going to have no content for other shows.
Oh, God. No. We'll figure out something. We always do.
Right, well, we'll move on to quickly any other business.
Can I just quickly add on? I do think Vault 862 has a great idea, and they're saying we're going to get a T7 ship kit.
What?
We're going to get a T7 ship kit.
So Vault really likes Type 7.
As they should. It is awesome.
Sure. Sure. And then that's why they want it.
You can't really help it when someone's that mentally disabled,
Well, what are we thinking? We're thinking go faster stripes like a nice big sporty spoiler for the aerodynamics on the brick.
I'm thinking ice cream van livery.
Like, would a ship kit for the Type 7 not be removing parts to make it more aerodynamic rather than adding anything to it?
Oh,
sorry, Volt.
This is really mean.
I mean, really, it's a good building block. They just need, you can add. You can't make it uglier.
It's like the generic Lego brick, isn't it? You want to be able to put two T7s together.
You know how people do like ship kit things, like micro models and things like that, and you just have a 2x4 thick brick as a T7.
Well, you think about it. You could then assemble as many T7s into whatever beautiful structure you could put together. Yeah, Lego would probably sue.
I have seen some lovely ship kits, but for different games. Not ship kits, Lego models.
Yes, very true. Very true. Right, you've got some other business, Ben.
I do. I need to go down to it, but I do have it. Oh yes, that's what it was. So yeah, I was just lurking around on the internet earlier, and I saw that you can digitally shove your name in a bottle on a probe that's going to a Europa. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to. I know it's silly. I know it's basically a couple of bits on a memory stick on a satellite, and I don't care. My name is going to Europa.
Mine's is on the Mars rover.
Mine is also, I'm also on the Mars rover, and it's silly.
It's not silly. Get your name in fucking space.
Yeah, it's it's like, my name is sitting on a memory stick on the Mars rover, and it's now been approved to go to one of Jupiter's moons that might support life, and the very first thing these aliens might see is my name if they manage to decode it.
Yeah,
you are so going to regret that when Arnold Schwarzenegger turns up on your door with a clipboard that says Ben Moss Woodward.
As long as he finishes it with "Come with me if you want to live."
Oh, I fell for a practical joke that's been going around. This is actually true that there is a mission going to this planet in 2024, 2025. They planned this.
Yeah,
but,
the Europa mission's 2024, and it gets to Europa 2030.
Yeah, this particular thing that I fell for was that NASA were about to run a competition for the mission name of the probe they're sending to Uranus.
I'm not going to say anything.
No, I think the fact I clicked on the link and then it took me straight to a Rickroll. I went, I should have known.
Well played, whoever that was.
Yeah,
well played. Ironically enough, I am actually I'm re-listening to The Martian, and I am loving it, and it's narrated by Will Wheaton. It's awesome.
Ironically, NASA are actually sending a mission to that aforementioned planet quite soon, but they're not opening it up to the public.
Project Hail Mary is a pretty good book as well, Ben. If you get the chance,
I've got it. I've got it, and I've listened to it. And of course, that is also set in the same universe as The Expanse.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, right.
Sorry, Colin. Just to be clear, the NASA aren't opening Uranus up to the public. Is that what you're saying?
God. And we have a show title.
Quite true.
The authors of The Expanse basically named one of their ships the Mark Watney.
Oh, right, gotcha.
And the author of The Martian was like, yeah, okay, we'll accept that they're in the same universe.
Well, hang on. The Expanse is in the same universe as The Martian.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
The Martian is a prequel to The Expanse. After a fashion.
But did they not also name the Millennium Falcon and things in there as well, though? On the screens and the... I'm trying to remember the screens in The Expanse during some of the battles.
In the TV show, you had a bunch of people from Aliens.
Yeah. Things like that going on as well.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't quite call that alpha canon, as it were, but yeah, I know it's in there as a little fun little Easter egg, definitely. But The Martian is, this is two authors of the books saying, yeah, okay, we are, as far as we're concerned, we're in the same universe.
I like it. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not as if one can countermand the other, or you wouldn't have a canon problem, would you? Mind you, Star Trek is the only thing that I know that has got 3 different levels of canon, which is well, Star Wars used to as well. It's really weird.
Canon and legends, and now you've got canon and what you choose to ignore as you just pretend that certain films don't exist.
Yeah,
and
somehow
everything's fine.
Somehow the Emperor returned, and that's canon.
Yeah.
I know.
They fly now.
They fly now. Right. Let's have a quick look at the question of the week. So, what's the spookiest thing you can find or do in Elite?
We didn't have a lot of answers to this, but it's all good.
No, but it's nice to get some response.
Yeah, for sure.
Epaphras found landing on the dark side of the planet at the edge of the galaxy quite spooky. Looking up, and there's just nothing but darkness.
It sounds
like you're landing on the planet Cricket. Now let's see who knows what that one's about.
H2G2.
Oh, you do. I want to see what the. if any of the chat did.
Yeah, sure they did. Sure they did.
Who's taking hamburger?
Definitely Alec, because I'll have to do the next one.
Right, I'll do hamburger.
Yeah,
Who
you will.
says, I find black holes to be one of the creepiest, spookiest phenomena in the game. They really give me the willies in a good way. I have a sidewinder called the Palomino, guess the reference sci-fi buffs, that is used purely for visiting the black hole HIP 34707b. Yes, they are good black holes.
I don't know where the Palomino comes from.
No, me neither.
So the only Palomino thing I know is, isn't it a kind of horse?
Yeah.
Oh, knowing Homburger, it could be. Oh, but that's not a sci-fi reference.
No.
Unless there's a sci-fi horse I
Is
don't
there
know
a
about.
Palomino reference that is alongside black holes? I'm going to assume.
I don't know the Disney black hole film well enough, so it might.
If you're happy for me to Google it, I'm going to Google it.
You Google it while we
The
do
Black
Ben.
Hole 1979 film, the Palomino decide to investigate.
I was right. My guess was right.
You were right.
Well
The Black Hole, that was a decent movie, but it just didn't seem to capture the same imagination.
Hmm.
So I'm next.
Yes.
My favorite spooky bits are like very much centralized around lore-based events. Specifically like Madness and Ghosts, which is the Generation Ship Thetis, which kind of like sits in line with the Halloween event as well. It's a very similar messaging and theming, and where Generation Ship Thetis is found is 15 light years away from where the new thing is. So there's a link there, except that it's not in a direct line from Soul, so it questions whether the generation ship turned. Anyway, Madness and Ghosts is brilliant. Really up there. Any of the abandoned bases that are like the Thargoidy abandoned bases that are all in the green haze. Very cool, especially in the dark. And also a very personal favorite of mine is the Inralog Whistleblower, because it goes so hard. And it's sort of like strange, creepy. It also helps that the person who performs it is fucking phenomenal and my favorite person of all time at the moment, who deserves BAFTAs for maybe other games.
I wonder who that could be, darling.
I wonder who that could be.
As Elvis Presley says, that newborn.
Yeah. It's him. So yeah, but it's very good. It's very good. It also does like proper creepy things. So yeah, there's a lot of amazing voice lines and amazing audio logs that have a proper creepy factor. Although to be fair, all of the generation ships are fucked up and weird in the most best possible way.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Okay, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. My favorite spooky stuff is the Guardian sites, and I just love them so much. But my God, as we said earlier, they give me the willies, especially when it's nighttime, and it always seems to be nighttime.
Yes, they do actually. They seem to be always on tidally locked planets in the dark.
You never visited a Guardian site in the light?
There has been a couple.
I know there are some, but whenever I have to go to the Guardian site, it seems to be nighttime.
If you go to a random one, good chance it's in the dark.
The eerie sounds around them as well.
Mhm.
It is kind of like bleh.
Oh, and also the music, because the music changes as well. The background music changes when you get to a Guardian site, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
I can do the next one.
Okay.
Commander Odyssaurus. In a universe with so much life, stumbling across derelict ships in the dark is always spooky. They were eerie in the 70s, and they remain eerie to this day.
I must admit, going to a crashed Thargoid site in the dark is quite eerie, especially when you start hearing the probes all making noises in the background.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got Silas Resi. The generation ships are the old abandoned bases, huge, remote, and shrouded in mystery, along with the cracking voice acting. I love visiting them and poking around. I know I don't find anything new, but it is very immersive. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll touch on that later, I think.
for sure. I'll grab this one. It's nice and short. Polytropist responds specifically with Etienne Dawn, which I mean,
You're not wrong.
It's a family of four.
There's just bargains where Etienne Dawn is concerned.
Guaranteed to creep you out every time.
Yeah, definitely. Alec?
Yeah, so mine, this is me, and I have hunted YouTube high and low for this video, and I just cannot find it now. It was years ago. It may have been Frontier's very first video competition. And incidentally, Frontier, why not do another video competition? I was finding all of these old video competition entries on YouTube. They're all bloody fantastic. Do another one of those. Anyway, way back, somebody made a little machinima video where I think it was in a cobra, could have been a python, and it was quite spooky and eerie, and it was a commander flying out into the black, and it was one of those sort of lonesome exploration videos where he's sort of reminiscing about where he's been and where he's going all by himself, but he keeps nervously looking over to the right, which in the cobra and the python you have an empty seat next to you, and there's sort of dialogue, and he looks to the right and he looks back, and then he looks to the right and he looks back, and it goes on. It's quite a short video, as I recall. And the final jump scare is he looks to the right and had done an Ascorbius job on it and animated this grotesque sort of terrifying jump scare of a figure sat in the co-pilot's seat, sort of looking back at him. And honestly, it's stayed with me ever since. Every single time I fly either of those damn ships,
You have expect to
and
see.
I've got headlock. I've got headlock, and I always find myself nervous looking at that seat. It's a bit like the classic scene in a horror film where you see a reflection in the bathroom mirror. I don't think any of us can ever quite look in a bathroom mirror without being reminded of those sort of scenes.
Right, so note to self. Put a co-pilot in just for Alex, please, Arv.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll just put in my little one, which is the. I agree that the bases are absolutely fantastic, but the one that freaked me out the most was the Far God sites. It's where you discovered that the Far God had camps on planets, and there was all these audio logs about people going into sleeping pods, so they were going to be sent off into space to meet the Far God. And yeah, it was quite freaky. And then you come across the one message where someone is panicking, saying that I'm an undercover operative. Please help, get me out of this now. And it just reminds me so much of some of the horror type things in Space 1999 that just creeped me out when I was a kid. So yeah, that's the one that got me.
Really should dip back into some of these logs, either in the codex or just go and do a little tour and go and do them again, because I've forgotten those ones.
Oh yeah, I haven't actually finished them. There's about 3 or 4 sites I haven't visited because I got distracted at some point. I'm gonna have to go back and do them and finish them off, just so that I can put them all, check them off the tick them off the list and make sure they're in the codex. Because one of the problems that I don't like it when you go to somewhere with audio logs and it doesn't go in the codex. It just feels like I've lost those logs forever.
Yeah, it's a great shame. The codex needs to be this sort of awesome. I'd almost quite like it. I don't know, it's a bit of a giveaway, I suppose, but it'd be almost quite neat if it had the blanks. So you do like an I Spy book, and you could
Oh
sort of
yeah, for sure.
see the ones you hadn't got yet.
It's sort of kind of like an achievement list.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yes, well, thanks to everybody who has contributed to those questions. Very, very nice. Has anybody else got any other business they want to quickly touch on? Nope. Okay, right. Well, in that case, Shoutouts. Well, to give a shout out to the usual Hutton Orbital Radio, which broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, you can go over to the CQC Discord and wave to them at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC, all one word. We'll give shout outs to a couple of other Elite Dangerous podcasts. That'll be the Guard Frequency and the wonderful Loose Screws. Unfortunately, there's been no Galnet News Digest tonight because Commander Witherspoon has been busy trying to keep our trains running in the dark, which is quite frightening.
We do have something to play, though.
We do have something to play, and we'll leave that up as a surprise. We'll also thank all those who have chipped into the Twitch chat and what in-game commanders or which in-game commanders have been joining you
Andy
troublemakers tonight.
Tomo has joined us this evening.
Oh, nice.
Helping us kill our fellow humans. Or former humans, or whatever the hell they are.
Yes, our brainwashed, our Reavers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, special thanks goes to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music for this show. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with us, then you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu on the website. Do let us know if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Commander Alec Turner.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
Thanks to Commander Psychit.
Villains disassemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the floor. Here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. Oh, no, that's his brain. Where did I put his heart?
Okay. Yeah.
Bravo.
Yes. Well done. Ben, thank you.
Night.
He was looking up a Shakespeare sonnet and thought, no, I can't be bothered.
So have that memorized.
Special thanks. Special thanks, of course, goes to today's new tech specialist. That would be the little pigeon.
Chris Mark 5.
Chris Mark 5.
Chris Mark 5, is he?
Yeah. He is Chris Mark 5.
Oh, right. I'm so sorry. Is that in the show notes?
Yep.
Oh dear, I do apologise. Can't even get our tech people right now. It's because it's all new.
Yeah, he's a tech Kelpie as well.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
This is definitely one for Excalibur Troops Hall of Fame, if we had one. The Holloway Bioscience Institute said they lost contact with one of their labs. They hired us to investigate and evacuate the staff if necessary. Well, there's no doubt the staff are dead, but we have no idea what happened. We found some empty clothing and suits, stained with frozen blood. The base has been without power for weeks, but there are no bodies. No signs that they left the settlement either. It's possible that...
Captain, this is Tulani. Thought you'd like to know. The power center's coolant system must have been faulty, because the base techs rigged some geothermal conduits to pump waste heat underground. But I've got everything reactivated, so all systems are back online.
Great work, Corporal. Keep me informed. Sterling out. Okay, that's some good news. I've got most of the team searching for clues, and Lieutenant McKellar is downloading their data files, so hopefully we'll soon... Wait, I can hear gunfire. Sergeant Gerard, come in. Gerard, report.
Captain, stand by. I'm entering the engineering block now. Roth, Buckley, cease firing! What are you... Oh my God!
They're coming out of the floor. What the hell are they? Buckley, get back!
Get them off me! Get them off me!
We're in trouble. Serious trouble. These things have come out of nowhere on us, swarming through the base. Tunison, Buckley and Webster are dead. Patel and Cook too, I think. They came crawling up through the floor grates in the engineering block, hundreds of them all at once. I've never seen anything like them before. Similar to spiders, but with too many legs, completely white in colour. Each one's about the size of a fist, with a round mouth like a lamprey, and they move like lightning. I ordered my people to wipe them out, but there's just too many. So now
Captain, we've sealed the bulkheads in Section 3, but they got past them. They're spilling out of the air vents on top of us and...
Sergeant, pull back to the control center now! Do you read me?
No!
He's too late. He's covered in them. He's finished. Move! Move! Move!
Gerard's down. Dead. How can Gerard be dead? He was my first recruit when... I need to get us out of here. This is Captain Sterling to the Excalibur. Come in. Emergency code Omega. Bring the ship down immediately for full extraction. Excalibur, respond.
There's one on my leg. I can't see it.
I got it. It's gone. Lean on me, Sam. I've got you. Let's go.
Excalibur, this is a code Omega. Come in. I don't understand. Comms are open. Why aren't they responding? Transponder signal is... No signal. The ship's not there. What happened to them? What the hell's going on? We've gathered in the control center, those who are left. Half of my team is gone. The whole base is in darkness, apart from our suit lights, and the power center has been shut down. That's what's caused those things to appear in the first place. McKellar downloaded the research team's final report, made after the first attack. Their xenologists believe the creatures come from an enclosed subterranean ecosystem over 1 kilometer below the moon's surface. It's likely that they see an infrared, like thermal imaging, when they hunt other heat-producing animals. So the waste heat being pumped underground was a massive attraction to them, melting the subsurface ice and allowing them to call up the pipes.
Captain, I'm in Maintenance Hatch 4. We've finished blocking the vents, but Jules hasn't returned yet. I'm going back out to find her.
Hold your position. If that last doorway isn't sealed, they'll be able to get in. Roth, come in. This is Sterling. Report? I repeat, this is Captain Sterling to Private Roth. Respond immediately. Seal it, Corporal. That's an order.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing we can do now but wait. Without the power center's heat, we're hoping that those things will retreat back underground and leave us alone. I can hear them, out there in the dark, scuttling along the floors and walls, trying to find some crack to crawl through and get to us. If they do, well, I've still got a fully charged cell on my carbine. That should be enough for everyone who's left. I won't let them go out like the others. It worked. It took a couple of hours, but the creatures are gone. McKellar confirmed that the geothermal pipes have refrozen, which should stop them climbing back up again. On my orders, he blasted the power center's controls, so they're stuck underground forever. Now all we have to worry about is asphyxiation. With no juice for the environmental systems, the air won't last long. Our suits will give us a few more hours, but since our ship has vanished, we're trapped down here. I've sent out a message on the emergency beacon, but we're hundreds of light years from any...
Corporal Thulani definitely isn't within the perimeter. He must have sealed the hatch from the other side. I think he might have gone to look for Jules. Private Roth. They were kinda close.
Acknowledged. Add his name to the list of the dead, please. Sterling out. That's... I didn't know about Thulani and Roth. Should I have known? Suppose it doesn't matter now.
Captain, there's a ship right above us in low orbit. A megaship.
What? Thank God! It must have picked up our beacon. Can you identify it?
Scanning now. It's a strange one. Looks like it might be a Dredger clan. There are tribal markings all over it. I can just about make out a name on its hull. Phagos, I think it says. A couple landing craft are heading down.
Let's have a welcome party ready at the main airlock. Lieutenant Sterling out. Well, some good luck at last. I'm sure these scavengers will want payment for rescuing us, but it'll be worth every credit. Travelling with the Dredger clan is hardly going to be a luxury cruise. Still, anything's better than being eaten alive.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. Need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.